Most people think life gets easier when they become smarter, or richer, or more disciplined, or when they finally buy that standing desk they've been looking at for 6 months. But if you've ever met a successful person, you've probably noticed something strange. Some of them are incredibly productive. Some of them are incredibly lazy. Some wake up at 5 a.m. Others wake up whenever their dog starts judging them. And yet, they all seem to get more done than the average person. Why? Because they discovered something most people never do. Life is not primarily a discipline problem. It's a friction problem. Think about it. Imagine two people trying to eat healthier. Person A buys vegetables, prepares meals, and keeps healthy food visible. Person B keeps cookies on the kitchen counter, ice cream in the freezer, and somehow believes future motivation will save them. One of these people is using discipline. The other is using common sense. And surprisingly, common sense wins most of the time. This is the first secret of putting life on easy mode. Stop trying to become stronger than your environment. Build an environment that doesn't require strength. Most people approach self-improvement like they're preparing for war. They create complicated schedules, download 6 productivity apps, watch 12 videos about habits, buy a notebook specifically designed to track the notebook they already use. And then they're shocked when none of it lasts, because they're trying to overpower friction instead of removing it. Imagine your goal is to read more. Most people focus on motivation. Wrong target. The real question is, how many obstacles exist between you and opening a book? If the book is in another room, that's friction. If your phone is next to you, that's friction. If Netflix is one click away, that's friction wearing a very expensive disguise. The easiest life isn't built by becoming more motivated. It's built by making good decisions easier than bad ones. And once you start looking for friction, you see it everywhere. People spend more effort avoiding work than doing it. A university student can spend 45 minutes reorganizing their desk before writing a 5-minute paragraph. An employee can check email 17 times before starting the task that actually matters. A person can watch productivity videos for so long that productivity becomes a hobby instead of a result. It's like driving around a parking lot looking for the closest spot to the gym. At some point, you're burning more energy avoiding effort than the effort itself would require. And that's because your brain is constantly trying to conserve energy. Not because it's lazy, because that's literally what brains evolved to do. Thousands of years ago, wasting energy could get you killed. Today, it just gets you stuck scrolling through videos about morning routines while eating cereal at 11 p.m. Same operating system, different bugs. The people who seem to have life figured out understand this. They don't fight their brain, they negotiate with it. For example, if you want to work out consistently, don't start by asking, how do I become more disciplined? Ask, how do I make skipping the workout more annoying than doing it? Those are completely different questions. One relies on motivation, the other relies on design. Put your gym clothes where you can see them. Choose a gym on your route home. Train with a friend who will mock you if you don't show up. Suddenly, your brain isn't fighting an uphill battle anymore. You've changed the terrain. Most people underestimate how much their life is shaped by default settings. And defaults are powerful. Think about your phone. You don't consciously decide to open the same apps every day. You just do. They're there, visible, easy, available. If every social media app suddenly required entering a 20-character password every time you opened it, global screen time would collapse overnight. Not because people changed, because friction changed. The same principle applies to everything. Saving money, learning skills, losing weight, building a business, even relationships. People assume successful people have superior willpower, sometimes. But usually they just have better defaults. The average person spends years trying to become someone capable of making perfect decisions. The smart person spends an afternoon making bad decisions inconvenient. One strategy requires endless effort. The other works while you're asleep. And this leads to the second thing that puts life on easy mode. Stop solving problems repeatedly. Most people treat recurring problems like surprise attacks. Every morning, what should I eat? Every evening, should I go to the gym? Every weekend, what should I do? Every month, why am I not making progress? It's the same questions, over and over, like a software program trapped in a loop. Meanwhile, people who seem organized are often doing something much simpler. They make fewer decisions, not because they're smarter, because they've already decided. Steve Jobs wore nearly the same thing every day, not because he hated fashion, because choosing outfits was a decision he didn't want occupying brain space. Whether you copy that specific habit doesn't matter. The principle matters. Every repeated decision consumes energy. Every system saves it. Life gets easier when fewer things depend on how you feel in the moment. Because your feelings are unreliable. They're like weather forecasts, sometimes useful, frequently wrong, and usually changing every few hours. The goal isn't becoming a machine. The goal is creating systems that continue working when you feel like a machine that's missing several important parts. Because that's how most Tuesdays feel. And once you understand friction in systems, you start realizing something strange. Life was never supposed to be this hard. A huge percentage of the difficulty comes from the way we've accidentally designed it, which raises a much bigger question. If friction can make life harder, what happens when you deliberately engineer your entire life to make success automatic? The biggest mistake people make is thinking life gets easier when they become better. In reality, life gets easier when they remove things that make it unnecessarily hard. Think about it. Most people try to improve their discipline. Very few try to improve their environment. If junk food is in your kitchen, your phone is next to your bed, and Netflix is one click away, you're not testing discipline. You're playing defense against your own setup. That's like trying to stay dry while standing in the rain. The people who seem to have life figured out usually aren't superheroes. They've just made good decisions easier than bad ones. And they understand something else. Consistency beats intensity. Every time. People love dramatic change, a new workout plan, a new productivity system, a new life strategy discovered at 2 a.m. But most progress comes from boring actions repeated for a long time. 10 pages a day, 3 workouts a week, a small amount of money invested every month. None of these feel impressive. That's exactly why they work. The next thing that puts life on easy mode is subtraction. Most people keep adding things, more goals, more commitments, more responsibilities, more stuff. Then they wonder why they feel overwhelmed. Imagine trying to make a car faster while towing 3 caravans behind it. At some point, the solution isn't a bigger engine, it's removing the caravans. Sometimes the fastest way forward is quitting something, a useless habit, a pointless obligation, a goal you never actually wanted. And finally, stop trying to win every game. Not every argument needs your opinion. Not every opportunity deserves your time. Not every distraction deserves your attention. Your attention is limited. Spend it carefully. Because life isn't hard because you're weak. It's hard because you're caring too much, deciding too much, and fighting battles you never needed to enter. Easy mode isn't a life without effort. It doesn't exist. Easy mode is a life where your effort actually matters. Where your environment helps you, where your systems support you, where progress happens even on days you don't feel motivated. And once you build that kind of life, something strange happens. You stop needing discipline for everything, because you finally stop making everything harder than it needs to be.